Hello everyone, welcome back to Dawn and Dreams. It is your lady Ms.Z. Thank you so much for tuning into another video. If you would, please make sure that you like and subscribe if this video resonates with you. If you would like to book a reading, go to dawnandreams.com. That link will be in the description box. If you would like to buy a handmade creation from me, my handmade dream catchers, that is in the shop now. I will also have some ancestral beads coming out soon, so you can look forward to that. This reading is going to be about how to not be ashamed of yourself, how to be proud of who you are, especially spiritually. Okay, so we're going to look into that. I think that's it for the announcement. So let's go over the stones that we got here today. So we got the stone 1, stone 2, and stone 3. Okay, I'm gonna do that one more time. Stone 1, stone 2, and stone 3. If you need more time, please pause the video, but we're going in that order. We're going to just see what you need to do to be more confident in yourself and not ashamed of who you are, because we tend to struggle with that in spirituality. We just struggle with that in general. You know, I struggled with that back in the day. I struggled with a long line of trying to find my way of being confident in myself. So we're going to see what you need to do to regain that confidence in yourself, and especially if you are a spiritual practitioner. So we're going to start off with stone 1. Okay, and I got a few cards here. My Aboriginal deck is back, so we'll be using that as well. All right, any more time, pause the video. Let's get started. What do you need to do to be more confident in yourself? Stop trying to impress people. I'm here and be free. We spend so much of our lives putting on our suits and our dresses for these people that wouldn't care if we were gone tomorrow. See what we got. Yep. I'm trying to flip it over. It's already, let me flip it back over because I feel more comfortable when my cards are flipped over. I can just reveal them all at once. So that one fell almost on the floor, so we got to pay attention to that one. Come on, ancestors, get your message together. I hear at least 2 more, so we'll do at least 2 more cards from this deck, and then we're going to move forward to another deck. How is everybody doing? You had self-respect wanting to come out, but it didn't officially come out, so put it back in. We can get one more from this. Intuition, okay. And let's go to Old Faithful. You know, I was shuffling my deck earlier. And my boyfriend was like, we get it. You can shuffle. I was like, just stop. Okay. We can take all of these. All right. So give me just a moment to review your message. Whew. Okay. So the first thing, and it was just so funny when somebody put that comment down there that I always get that card. You knew I was a snake when you took me in. We all seem to get this card a lot. You knew I was a snake when you took me in. So number one, that deals with having people around you that you may very well care about, but again, they may not wish you the best. They may not, necessarily want you to succeed. And even if they do want you to succeed, they're still in competition with you because they may be trying to go down that same road of success. Okay, so that can definitely bring your confidence down because you may be moving yourself to the side when you were supposed to shine. And I hate when people do that because I've been known to do that, especially in the past, where you might just not shine. You know you're the best at it, but you don't really take the initiative to shine because somebody else might be better for the picture, or you see them as being better for the picture when really it is your time to shine. So you have to look at that. You do have, I need a dent break. So it seems like if you honestly get away and just enjoy yourself in a new time and space, you'll see other people around you. A lot of times we don't get to see anything outside of ourselves. For the people that don't travel, I know some of you do travel, but for those of us who don't travel a lot, all we see is what we're around. And it becomes this hostile environment of being good enough for the people that you're around. When you go other places, everybody might be in the community. Everybody has a space, Some people may not even care about that type of energy. So it seems like you do need to go out and escape and just be free. This is also meditation energy. And then two, one thing I learned is that even though they may not appreciate you in your hometown, that does not mean that they're not going to appreciate you around the world. So you need to more so expand, don't think so small, think big. Okay. Especially with those of you, because that relates to you, those of you who have a business and you may not be very confident in yourself about what you're selling or what you're doing or what you're good at. Like I said, do not think small. Don't think just going out here and, because everybody does not want to see you succeed or be bigger than your hometown. So again, they may not support you here, but you go somewhere else and they're like, wow, I love that. I can't believe, you took so much energy to make that. So you have to think about that. Okay, you also have, let's see, haters in the building. Haters in the building. So you know what that means. Same thing that this card means. Like, again, you're supposed to be the leader, yet, trying to impress folks that, weren't meant to be impressed in the first place. Don't waste your time and energy on people who won't always appreciate what you're doing. They know you're good enough, but it's up to you to feel like that, okay, to be confident in yourself. And you also have some tribal energy here. So some of you may be even, kind of pushing back that indigenous energy that you carry. And when I say indigenous, I always mean doing it like your ancestors, doing it like the original ancestors that some people may not understand. So they tell you that it's bad, or they hate on you, or they're like, oh, what you doing? I've had things like that. People say stuff like that. What is that? Okay, figure it out. Get to know me better. You've been knowing me all my life, and now that I'm doing something different, it's like, oh, what you doing? So people have that that energy that they carry, but that shouldn't stop you from excelling in your life. If they want to be in that same circle, let them be in that same circle. Because again, that can drop confidence because you're like, maybe I shouldn't be into this stuff because I want to set my energy back. No, you're supposed to excel. You're supposed to excel. The ancestors need somebody they can depend on to elevate their spirits as well. And if you're the chosen one, let them other people do what they're doing. You do what you need to do. You have let go, it will come back in time. So some of you need to practice the energy of releasing, being completely free. Quit tying your energy up to everything and everyone. Because again, it brings your energy down because your spirit's supposed to be elevated. You're supposed to be beyond this 9-to-5 job that don't understand your spiritual practice. These people that only want to do the same thing every time you come around them. You have to release that. And again, that creates the confusion for you. It creates confusion about yourself because you don't know if you're supposed to blend in or stand out. It blocks that victory. This tells me you've already accomplished a lot. And then you have ancestral wisdom coming in as well. Okay, so let's see. We got another card right here, intuition. Listen to your intuition. Trust yourself. Believing in yourself, having the strength. This can make you very emotional too, I see. It can be heartbreaking. It can definitely be heartbreaking. Like, wow, the people that I have faith in, the people that I want to believe in me are not necessarily doing that anymore. Waiting for a sign from the ancestors. But I always see this card as your ancestors are already present. They waiting on you. They waiting on you to make your moves. And, this represents someone not being as invested as you thought they were. But you're supposed to be studying. You're supposed to be elevating, getting better. Get away from that water. Don't drown yourself in your emotions. Drown yourself in your intuition. They're saying that you don't want to be patient. Wait for your soul family, your true soul family to come in. Sometimes you may be blocked to be around certain people, and the blockage could be them just saying, well, I really don't understand what you're doing right now, so I'm really not comfortable hanging around you. Little did you know that was your ancestors. Little did you know that was your spiritual guardian channeling through them. They said, we got to get this person off, this person's back. So we're going to, channel a message through one of their closest friends that really ain't good for them no way, and we're going to make them say something that would initially pull you away from the person. You don't see it like that, but that's essentially what's going on behind the scenes. You have to think bigger than just this physical realm. You never know, because if you ask for things like, show me my true friends, and then next thing you know, that person come up like, I'm not comfortable with what you're doing, and then it's revealed. Okay, so you may hit that brick wall, you may hit that door, but it's okay. Yeah. This is you coming out of the shadows. Assert your position. And I feel like this is also seeing other people around you excel a little bit faster. And honestly, you're on the same level, maybe even higher than them when it comes to what you know and what you're good at. But you have to believe in yourself. You have to say, because this is the high priest already in, close to the Pharaoh, the trusted high priest, but you have the high priestess in the background, and you can be male or female, vice versa, doesn't matter. But I'm just saying that they both have a place. The high priestess and the high priest, both spiritual beings, have a place and in their knowledge. But if you're holding yourself back, then no one's going to acknowledge that. You're not even acknowledging it. You got to show yourself that self-respect and assert your position. You can't ask for the position. You got to assert your position. You got to say, I'm good enough. I don't care what you say. It's funny how, you can just wait on people to give you recognition. But then when you see yourself just giving it to yourself, then that's when people acknowledge you. I've learned that, especially when it comes to beauty and everything. When you feel that you're ugly, then everybody else is going to feel you're ugly. But when you feel you're beautiful, everybody else is going to feel that way. So you have to command that energy to vibrate at the frequency that you want it to. So you have truth, you have transformation, and you have changes. Okay? So I'm going to stop right here because, like I said, it gets deep. And like I said, I've been going like 40 minutes and stuff like that. I'm like, wow, I don't even go that long when I'm behind the camera. When I get on the camera, I'm just living it up, So we're going to stop right there. But I will say, ending this reading, come to the acceptance of who you are. Come to the acceptance. It's time. It's time to go through that transformation period. It's time to recognize these changes that are coming to better serve you. Okay? All right, so we're going to go on to number 2. Okay, number two. Sorry guys, I didn't even put my cards back. I'm saying number 2 like I'm ready and, still getting prepared. And I always have to remind people, I do cleanse and everything prior to getting in readings. I have to get prepared. So trust me, it's like a 30-minute process when I get ready for readings. I just don't do it on camera because that's too long. Okay, so number 2, let's see where we at. How to not be ashamed of yourself. How to be proud of who you are. Understand your power and effect on the world and people. You may be looking at it in a mild way, but you actually have a good impact on the world, okay? So, let's get this thing open. Let's find out. Very gifted in the forms of healing. Let's go. Okay. We can get 2 more cards from this deck. So we have a lot of things being avoided right now. A lot of energy being avoided. So it's like you ain't being honest with yourself. Okay, so we're going to stop right there. And then I'm going to draw some cards from Original Spirit. Pay attention to your spirit animals as well. Use your power animals. Your power animals, if I'm correct, is when you channel the energy of your spirit animal. And that happened to me. That's why I'm so close to the crow. You can channel their energy and access their gifts. So if they're good at sight, you can be able to see like them. If they're good at hunting, you may be able to, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what you would hunt, but if they're always around herbs and stuff, you can pick up on herbs. You can use the energy of the animal and use them as gifts for yourself. Because like I said, you know, I always tell people that story how the crow invoked a gift in me. Once you learn to work with that spirit animal, and this is real stuff, okay? Real spiritual work. And they feel like you're ready, they'll initiate you. So work with your spirit animal. I see somebody has the lion as a spirit animal. And you can drop that in the comments if you relate to the lion. But I guess it relates to this reading as well while I'm talking about it. Not being ashamed of yourself, because the lion is fierce, confident. Leo energy. Okay, so you have, wow. Okay, so the first things you have coming out, you have, I am releasing deep trauma, deep pain. Okay, you're releasing trauma and deep pain. So a lot of this is going to come from childhood. It's going to come from things of the past that you have not let go of, if things were traumatizing to you, or things that are resting on your heart. So a lot of you may have went through things as a child, or you know, some traumatizing energy that no one either tend to, and you probably over time just wrapped a bandage around it and went on with your life, but it's still seeping deep within you. It's still holding you. Trauma is a tricky thing because it can almost make you feel like you're not good enough. You know, if somebody beats you down, you can feel like, well, if they were just able to do that, then I'm not good enough. No. No. Do not go down that path of energy. Number one, we have to release it. And I have the hardest energy with just saying forgive. You know, I have the hardest time saying that because as a Libra, it's just not there for me. You know, I'm more of a person like, even if I forgive you, I'm not going to forget what you did. So I have issues with that as well in my heart, you know, releasing pain and deep trauma, but those memories can still pop up and keep you, you know, in the background when you're supposed to stand forward. So you do have to look deep into the past and see what it is that's trapping your energy and keeping you in this same energy of not wanting to progress forward. You have seek a good shaman. So number one, you may be seeking out a healer at this time. But number two, a lot of times when you're seeking healers, that means you are a healer. Okay, because how can you recognize something that you are not? All right, it's kind of weird to say that, but yeah, you may be seeking out. A lot of times we seek out spiritual people. Why? Because we are spiritual people, or we're going to one day be that spiritual. When you go to your elders and you ask them for advice and healing, one day you're going to be the elder. So you learn from your experiences with these people. So either you're going to come across an elder very, very soon, or it could just be you owning in on your other energy where you channel your ancestors, because you can channel your ancestors and get messages too. But if that is too complicated for you at this time, you can always seek out an elder and your ancestors can be channeled through that elder. Okay, so it can work in many different ways. You have discovered what is now yours to take. So this is what's being avoided. You have so many things and good things waiting for you as far as abundance, as far as starting new things. A lot of you are supposed to start businesses and start, being the entrepreneur. If you don't want to be that, then hell, just throw that away, but still be abundant regardless. Because some things are just due to you. Some things are that inheritance that your ancestors want to pass down to you. But if you're not confident enough to feel like you're good enough, how can you accept that? Because a lot of people will be like, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not handsome enough, oh, I don't do that good enough. You have to stop, get out of that mindset, There's only one you. Even if you reincarnated a few times, it's still, this is your lifetime to live your round. So do it the way that you want to do it. You also have to pay attention to your health. And I feel like that deep trauma and pain that can lead you to, like I said in my previous reading, substance. You could either smoke a lot or drink a lot. And even if you don't do that, if you overindulge in, too many snacks or things like that aren't really good for you, it can wear your body down, Not everything will, it may not mean just stop completely, because a lot of times we do things just to calm our nerves, and that's just what it is. But, sometimes you can overindulge yourself so much because you're in pain and that pain has not been healed. And then you get to the point where, I'm ashamed of myself. So sometimes that substance can drown out those, that pain, it can drown out everything. But it keeps coming up because you're supposed to deal with it. It doesn't go away because you're supposed to deal with it. Your heart knows. That's why it keeps bringing it back up to the surface. It knows, hey, you trying to push me back with all that other stuff you're doing, but I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to be here until you deal with what's going on with me, Could be a soul tie for you as well. Okay, so anyway, yeah, you got accomplishment. Well, it's just so many things here. Responsibility. It's like you confused about that, but no, the title is yours. The title is yours. And there's a disconnection when it comes to friendships. Wanting more support, changes. This is another one where you have to be careful with who you're around. So for you, I would recommend start speaking up. Start saying, I can do that. Start raising your hand. If they asking anybody to heal up in here, raise your hand, because that is what you qualify for. You are, you have to start initiating yourself into things that you know that you're good at. There might be a competition. I know some singers might be watching this. Anybody can sing for me right now, get a record deal. And you might just hold yourself back, let somebody else get it. Don't. Be confident in who you are. Again, that once in a lifetime opportunity is you. And the weird thing is I've never seen that like that, but right now I'm feeling like this is like digging up the past. Renewing your energy. So some of you guys need to cleanse and renew. Go back to the past when you first started. Renew your energy. And I could talk about this forever, but I'm going to go on. But you have so many things that you're supposed to be doing. So you can't let this energy hold you forever, you know? Yeah, this card wanted to flipped out the deck. So, can't even hold it. It's like, I don't want to hold that right now. Yes, you do. You do want to hold the Emperor. Okay? You do want to hold that energy. That is you. You know how you get in those moods where you just want to slap the person? You know that's you. Okay? So let's go on to the last one. I hope not to hold the last people too long. Those of you who chose the Crow. Focus that. Yeah, the Crow. Okay, so for those of you who chose the Crow, let's see how you can be more confident in yourself and not be ashamed of who you are. Well, honestly, you're going into a lot of hermit energy. You're going into a lot of separating yourself anyway, actually, because I see a lot of you discovering things. Oh, and this also gives me the energy of people who hide things from family members. I know how that is, hiding. Well, it's not really necessarily. Yeah, I do. Because those elders may not be into all this stuff that's not really new. I'm not gonna call it new age because it's not really new. Especially if you're not just going back to just what's going on right now. If you're digging deeper. I don't feel like I need that many cards from this deck, so that's it. Okay. Oh, yeah. I just feel like you're on a journey of getting to know yourself right now. And there may be a fear of doing the wrong thing, but you just following the guidance of your ancestors. So what's wrong with that? I feel like most of you are, I don't know what you call that, but I see somebody like digging in the dirt. So I feel like some of you, you know what it's called, but you discover things. You're adventurers. You go out and do things. You find answers. Is that funny? Okay, no, I thought that was the adventure card. I was gonna say, dang. Okay. Some of you are on the path to returning home. Okay, so we'll get one more card. All right. I don't know why I'm pulling so many cards, but maybe that many cards need to be pulled. Yeah, the funny thing, I said Hermit. You have the Hermit coming out. The past, okay? I don't feel like I need any more cards. Okay. We got a few things being avoided here, so let's look at the overall picture and see what's going on with you. Okay. That's funny because you have avoiding problems, but I take that as just trying to hide, like hide yourself very, very much so. I feel like, you know, it's kind of the energy to where you're not necessarily ashamed of yourself in that way, because it's kind of like you've come to accept who you are, but at the same time, it's still kind of like closing yourself off to where it's only you. Now, if it was a world where it was only you, then, you know, who would you be trying to impress? Who would you be trying to show off to? So I feel like, and honestly, I'm saying that in a good way because you've come to that conclusion that um, right now, it's about loving yourself. Hmm. I honestly think it's just not feeling, just feeling a little bit bad about not honestly thinking the way that you used to. But again, I still feel more completion of self. I still feel more like I've already been through that phase in my life to where I wanted to be appreciated by other people or I wanted to fit in. But in your heart, you've already kind of accomplished or gotten over that goal. There may be some deep pain deep down about it because you do have, I am releasing deep trauma and pain, and you do have avoiding problems. So I see that as avoiding people too, like leaving your energy away from certain people. Like right now you focus on your earthly connection, and that also deals with money and security. I think the people that held you back in the past may keep you in a, I think that might be something that you have to deal with because sometimes it's like, you made me like this, you made me not like myself. And I think that's the only thing that is the challenge, is going back to that place of who the people, because sometimes people can cause it too on your journey. People can cause you to feel less confident in yourself, you know, dealing with certain relationships and people, school. They don't know, like a lot of times parents don't even think of that. You know, the new generation of parents may be different because we're a lot more spiritual now. But I can say that even back in my childhood, you know, there's not necessarily that much of an understanding of, you know, depression and going through things behind the scenes. It's kind of like, you know, you'll get over it, you'll grow out of it, but that stuff can sit with us for a long time. Those same people that picked on us or that bothered us or that made us feel like we were not good enough. But right now you have the energy of psychic development. Grounding. And you also have pay attention to your health. I feel like this is more like, why didn't you accept me? Why didn't you accept me for who I was? Because your spirit, again, you have, to me, you have a spirit that kind of already knows who it is. And you kind of know that at a certain point that you're not going to change for nobody else. So a part of you, to me, has already accepted a lot of yourself, and you should be proud of that. The only issue, again, I see here is just other people making you feel bad for who you are. And that kind of hurts your spirit. Because at that certain time, you could have felt less than. And on your path, you may deal with jobs and things like that don't necessarily value your energy, but you have to remember how important it is to you. That's the only thing with you. Like, just remember. And like I said again, it's kind of like I'm telling a mirror, because I know that you already know this. I know you know how important you are, your place in the world. And a lot of times, if anybody constrains that soul mission for you, you have to escape away from it. You have to move yourself out of that, that environment, because you know you're here to get that psychic development. You know you're here to return the country, which is returning home. And I'm not just talking about your house. I'm talking about return home. Return to your mission. Return to your indigenous practice. Return to lifting up different spirits. It's kind of like that, again, that odd person in school that you may have made fun of, but, that person knows that they can't change who they are. They just wanted your acceptance. So I feel a lot of that energy right here. Like, I was different from the jump, and I knew there was nothing that I could do to change myself. I just wanted, the appreciation for who I was. And maybe you didn't get all of that you needed, but it's not to make you feel any less confident in yourself. And like I said, I feel deep down, it's either a strong ancestral presence within you, or it's just you and yourself, because you know what you're here to do. All right, so that is it. I say just heal that pain from the past. Also present pain too, because it could be some of that going on now as well. Thank you for joining me. Please make sure that you like and subscribe. Comment which one you chose. If you would like to book a reading, again, that information will be below. And you have a great and wonderful day.